Hello students, welcome back to All 4 e-learning classes. So in the last class we studied about Coulomb's inverse square law. Now the same Coulomb's inverse square law here, if two charges are separated in any other medium, so what is the influence of the force? Okay, here let us take the same charges. In the last topic here we are taking two charges. Here also let us consider two charges q1, q2 separated by a distance r, but in a medium, not in the free space. So in the last topic the two charges separated in the free space. If the same charge is separated in a medium, then the force between the medium can be written as the electrostatic force in the medium is denoted by here Fm. So Fm is equals to, we may write like this, 1 by 4 pi epsilon q1 q2 by r square, 1 by 4 pi epsilon q1 q2 by r square. Epsilon naught is a permittivity of free space, but here we are writing epsilon. What is epsilon? Is called as permittivity of free space, permittivity of the medium. What is epsilon? Is a permittivity of the medium. Okay, epsilon is called as permittivity of the medium. Epsilon naught is permittivity of free space, it is a constant. But what is epsilon? Is a permittivity of the medium. These value will be different for the different types of medium. Okay, see, for example, how can we define these permittivity? Means the permittivity of medium can be defined as the property of the medium which influence the electrostatic force. Permittivity can be defined as the property of the medium which influence the electrostatic force between the two charges is called as a permittivity of the medium. So this is not a constant. So these value will be different for the different types of media. Okay. So that here we are writing 1 by 4 pi epsilon q1 q2 by r square. Next, coming to the relative permittivity. Relative permittivity, or it is also called as a dielectric constant. Dielectric constant. Denoted by K or epsilon r. Relative permittivity epsilon or dielectric constant K. So what is the relative permittivity or dielectric constant? Means it can be defined as the ratio of the permittivity of medium. The ratio of permittivity of medium to the permittivity of free space is called as a relative permittivity or dielectric constant. So K is equal to epsilon by epsilon naught. So from this equation we may write what is epsilon is equals to K epsilon naught. What is epsilon is equals to K epsilon naught. Okay. If we substitute these value in this expression, what is Fm is equal to, here we are writing Fm is equals to 1 by 4 pi epsilon. 1 by 4 pi, instead of epsilon it is replaced by K epsilon naught q1 q2 by r square. Okay, Fm is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon but replaced by K epsilon naught q1 q2 by r square. Can be written as Fm is equals to 1 by K of 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 by r square. And the term within the bracket, we know that if the same two charges are separated in the free space, this is the force between them. So we may write what is the force in the medium is equals to force in the free space denoted by F naught by K. Okay, means, see, from this equation we may say that the electrostatic force between the two point charges, two stationary point charges is maximum when they are separated in the free space. If they are separated in any other medium, what happens? The force between them is decreases. In general, what is the K value is greater than 1. The K value is greater than 1. For only air, for air or free space, what is K is equals to 1. And for good conductors, K is equals to infinity. For any other medium, the value lies between the 1 and infinity. So it is K is equal to either equals to 1 or greater than 1. So that the force between the two stationary charges in any other medium is decreases as compared to the if they are separated in the free space. Okay. So this is about the relative permittivity, or it is also called as a dielectric constant. Okay. K is called dielectric constant or relative permittivity. Okay. So this is about the relative permittivity. Now we have to see some applications regarding Coulomb's inverse square law. See, first application, first one, when two same charges are separated by the same distance, when the same charges are separated by the same distance into different media, same distance into different media. See here, same charges separated by the same distance but into different media. Okay. See here, then what is for example, let us take initially the two charges are separated in a medium of dielectric constant K1. Then we may write what is F1, the force in between them is F1 is equals to 1 by K1 of 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R square. Okay. Now in the second case, if the same charges are separated by the same distance but in another medium means what is the force here? We may write F2 is equals to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. Okay. Q1 Q2 by R square of 1 by K2. Okay. 1 by K2 here. What is the difference here? Same charges separated by the same distance but two different media. Obviously the force is different. What is here? In the first case the force is F1. In the second media the force is F2. Dielectric constant of the first media is K1. Second media is K2. So remaining all are constants only here. Same charges separated by the same distance. So from these equations we may write see F1 K1 is equals to F1 K1 is equals to F2 K2. F1 K1 is equals to F2 K2. Fk is equals to constant. F1 K1 is equals to F2 K2. Now second applications. When the same charges are separated by the different distances. When the same charges are separated by different distances. In same medium. See, here same charges separated by the different distances but medium is same. So what is general formula of Coulomb's inverse square law? F is equals to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R square. Okay, F is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R square. Okay, if any other medium we may write what is into K, into 1 by K. Here same charges means Q1 Q2 are constants. Okay, distance is a different and same medium K is also constant. Okay, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught is constant, same charges means Q1 Q2 constant. Again different distance means R is a different, same media K is constant. So except force changes when R changes. So from this equation we write Fr square is equals to, or F proportional to 1 by R square. Okay, F1 R1 square is equals to F2 R2 square. F1 R1 square is equals to F2 R2 square. This is a second application. Okay, next one, third one, different charges are at the same separation. 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 Okay, in a given medium. Same separation in a given medium. Different charges. So two different set of charges are taken. Same separation, D is constant and medium is also constant. Now what is formula? Generally we may write F is equals to 1 by K of 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R square. Here what is different charges? Q1 Q2 are not a constants. Same separation R constant, given in the same media K constant. K constant, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught is constant. Okay, same separation R is constant. So the only variable quantities are F and charges. So we may write from these equations according to this statement F proportional to Q1 Q2. Okay. See, F proportional to Q1 Q2. In the second case, for example, the force in the second case, when the charges are changing, the force in the second case is denoted by F dash. So we may write F dash by F is equals to Q1 dash Q2 dash by Q1 Q2. Okay, so this is a formula for when different charges are at the same separation in the given media, the ratio of the forces F dash by F is equals to Q1 Q2 dash by Q1 Q2. Okay, this is the third applications. And fourth one, if the force between the two charges in the two different media, if the force between the two charges into different media is same, if the force between two charges, the force between two charges into different media, different media is same for the different separation. Different media is same, okay, for different separations. See, if the force between the two charges in two different media is same for two different separations, okay. Now what is general formula of Coulomb's inverse square law? Is F is equals to 1 by K of 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R square. Here what is the statement? If the force between the two charges in two different media means K is variable here, is same, the force is same, so F is constant. F is constant, but media is changing, K is changes, charges are same. For two different separations, R value is variable. So according to this statement, the force constant, charges are constants. The only is K value, medium is changing and separation is changing. So from this equation we may write K R square is equals to constant. K R square is equals to constant. We may write K1 R1 square is equals to K2 R2 square. K1 R1 square is equals to K2 R2 square, where what is K1 K2 are the dielectric constants of the two media, R1 R2 are the distance between the two charges in two different media. See, for suppose if K1 is equals to 1, that is if the two charges initially separated in the free space, what is the value of K1? 1. Then after the same charges are separated in another medium of dielectric constant K2 to produce the same amount of force, what is the separation? Means we should find R2. K1 R1 square is equals to K2 R2 square. If K1 is equals to 1, okay, and K2 is equals to K, then we may write this equation is R1 square is equals to K2 into R2 square. What is K2 value is K, KR square, okay. That means R2 square is equals to R1 square by K. R2 square is equals to R1 square by K. R2 is equals to R1 by root K. R2 is equals to R1 by root K. Two same charges separated in two different media. For the different separations, they execute the same amount of force. So that to find the distance between the two charges in the second case, R2, what is the formula? R2 is equals to R1 by root K. Okay. This is the fourth application of Coulomb's inverse square law. Next one. Right, next fifth application. If a dielectric slab of constant K, thickness X is inserted between the 2 point charges. See, let us take initially two charges Q1, Q1 and Q2 are separated by a distance R in free space. Two charges Q1, Q2 are separated by a distance R in free space. Now, a dielectric slab is placed in between them. A dielectric slab of constant K, and its thickness is X. Thickness X is introduced between the two charges such that the space between the two charges is partially filled. A dielectric slab of constant K, thickness X is inserted between the 2 point charges such that the space between the two charges is partially filled, then the effective distance becomes, see, effective distance between the charges R dash, let it be denoted by R dash. What is R? Is a initial separation here. R is a distance between the two charges. Okay. Now, when a dielectric slab of constant K, thickness x is inserted between the two charges, the effective distance between the charges is denoted by R dash. Then R dash can be written as R dash is equals to R minus x plus x root k. R minus x plus x root k. What is, if k is equal to 1? K is equal to 1 means again it is also filled with air only, completely air. K is equal to 1, x root 1, x, R minus x plus x. What happens? Complete, again you will get R only. Okay. If any other medium other than air, you can substitute the value of k. So this is the expression for the effective distance. What is R dash is equals to R minus x plus x root k. When a dielectric slab of constant k, thickness x is inserted between the two charges, 2 point charges, such that the space between them is partially filled with dielectric, the effective distance R dash is equals to R minus x plus x root k. Okay. So this is about the fifth one. Okay. Next, if two point-sized spheres, two point-sized identical spheres carrying the same charge, carrying the charges q1 and q2. If two point-sized spheres, identical spheres, two point-sized identical spheres carrying the charges q1, q2, okay, separated by certain distance, let it be r, separated by certain distance r, and they the electrostatic force between them is F here. The electrostatic force between them is F. When two point-sized spheres carrying the charges q1, q2, okay, separated by certain distance, let it be r, then they execute the force F. So what is the force here? We may write F is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 by r square, q1 q2 by r square. Okay, let it, they execute certain force. The force can be written as 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 by r square. Now if they brought in contact, the two spheres are brought in contact for a while and again separated through the same distance. Okay, this is the first case. Two point-sized spheres carrying the charges q1 and q2, okay, by certain distance they execute certain amount of force. If they brought in contact for some time and again they separated through the same distance, these two spheres are kept in contact here for a while, again separated through the same distance. Okay, this is a sphere A, this is a sphere B, AB. Okay, now again separated. Okay, the two spheres are separated through the same distance r, but here what happens when they are in contact? By the conduction process, the charge of the each sphere is equals to the q1 plus q2 by 2, because these two are identical spheres and having initial charge q1 q2. When they are kept in contact for a while and again separated through the same distance, the charge of the each sphere is equals to the q1 plus q2 by 2. Now let us take q1 dash be the new charge of the first sphere A, q2 dash be the new charge of the second sphere B. Okay, Because we know that by the conduction process the total charge of the system is equally distributed to the charged particles. What is the total charge here? Q1, Q2. The total charge means sum of these two charges, Q1 plus Q2, which is equally shared to the two spheres. That means the charge of the first sphere becomes Q1 dash, charge of the second sphere is Q2 dash, which is equals to Q1 dash is equals to Q2 dash is equals to Q1 plus Q2 by 2. But what is our distance remains same only. The R values, they are separated by the same distance. Okay. Now what is the only charges are changing and separated in the same media. So what is the new force in the case? In second case, new force is F dash. Okay, then F dash by F can be written as, what is F dash? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 dash Q2 dash by R square. And what is F? F is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R square. Okay. From these equation we may write F dash by F is equals to Q1 dash Q2 dash by Q1 Q2. F dash by F is equals to Q1 dash Q2 dash by Q1 Q2. But what is the value of Q1 dash and Q2 dash? Q1 dash is equals to Q2 dash is equals to Q1 plus Q2 by 2. Q1 plus Q2 by 2 into Q1 plus Q2 by 2 can be written as Q1 plus Q2 by 2 whole square. That means by 4 into Q1 Q2. Okay. When two point sized spheres carrying the charges Q1 and Q2, okay, and separately carrying the charges Q1 Q2 separated by certain distance, they execute the force F. Those two are brought in contact, okay, and separated for the same separation. Then the final charge on the them is, final charge on the two charges are Q1 dash and Q2 dash, which is equals to Q1 plus Q2 by 2. Then the ratio of the forces in these two cases can be written as F dash by F is equals to Q1 dash Q2 dash by Q1 Q2, which can be written as Q1 plus Q2 whole square by 4 Q1 Q2. Because what is Q1 dash Q2 dash are Q1 plus Q2 by 2 into Q1 plus Q2 by 2, which can be written as Q1 plus Q2 by 2 whole square, Q1 plus Q2 whole square by 4 Q1 Q2. Okay, this is a sixth applications. Okay, these are the some applications of Coulomb's inverse square law. Now to find the electrostatic force, okay, electrostatic force due to the multiple charges, okay, multiple or system of charges. Electrostatic force due to multiple charges or system of charges. For suppose if a system contains so many number of charged particles, but we need to find the force acting on a particular charge due to the rest of the charges. In such conditions, Coulomb's law is not enough. So that here we are using the principle of superposition. Okay, principle of superposition. Okay, see, principle of superposition. For suppose let us take if a system contains charges 1q, here it is q1, and here q2, and here it is minus q3. A system contains 4 charged particles q, q1, q2, minus q3. We need to find force acting on the charge q by the q1, q2 and minus q3. Okay, so let us take the distance between q and q1 is r1, q and q2 is r2, and Q and minus Q3 is R3. So by using Coulomb's inverse square law, we can calculate the force between these two charges Q and Q1. Let it be F1. What is F1? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 by R1 square. Q1 by R1 square into R1 cap, vector form, where R1 cap be the unit vector along line joining the Q and Q1. So these two are positive. We are calculating the force acting on this charge Q. So the positive charge Q is repelled by the Q1. So this is a direction of F1. In the same way, the positive charge Q is also repelled by the another charge Q2. So let us take, this is a direction of F2. Okay, what is F2? F2 bar is equals to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q2 by R2 square into R2 cap. But the same charge Q is attracted by the negative charge. This is a positive and here it is a negative. It is attracted, unlike charges attract. So it is attracted. This is a direction of F3. What is F3 bar? Is equals to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q3 by R3 square into R3 cap. Now here we have the individual forces acting on the charge Q. But we need net force acting on the charge Q by the system of these three charges. So according to the principle of superposition, the net force acting on the charge is equals to the vector sum of the individual forces F1 bar plus F2 bar plus F3 bar. Okay, because force is a vector quantity. The net force acting on the given charge is equals to the vector sum of the individual forces. And one more important thing is, whenever we are calculating the force between the any two charges, the presence of other charges are not influenced by that force. Okay, this is about the principle of superposition. Okay.